I am turning the live stream on and
oh no.
Go ahead.
My thing went blank. I'm sorry, hang on. Oh gosh, my window went blank.
We still see you.
yeah.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order for the City of Mangum City Commissioners meeting on February 2nd, 2021. At this time, Billy, would you please do the roll call?
Mary Jane Scott,
Here.
Ron Gay,
Here.
Ronnie Webb,
You're muted, Ronnie.
Here.
Travis Reese,
Here.
Shelley Bowman,
You're muted too, Shelley.
I can see her.
Say it again. It'll pick you up here.
I'm here. Okay.
There we go.
All right, thank you. We do have a quorum. Next on the agenda is the consent agenda. It's to approve the regular session on January 5th of 2021, the claims of 2021 January, and the estimated payroll for February of 2021. Is there anything you'd like to remove from the consent agenda, or do we have a motion to approve?
Don't move.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do
Second.
I have a second from Reese? Please call for a vote, please.
My stuff's all messed up. Gay,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Webb,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Next thing on the agenda says remarks or inquiries by the audience not pertaining to any item on the agenda. Elka, do you have anything? It's only under this section here on remarks. But you can refer to whatever. Well, it is on the agenda, so Dave.
I didn't hear what was the question.
There's no, oh, Elka is here. She has something, but it's a question about something on the agenda. She
Okay.
can't.
Then it's not for this time.
Okay. 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 All right. So we don't have any remarks, reports, financial report by the city manager.
Okay. Oh, this is my financial report for February 2nd. This is, of course, December 2020. I see I put 2021 on there. I don't know how that happened. Our sales tax looks pretty good, 45,600. Use tax is up, way up from last month and of last year. It's actually up 50% over last year, 20% over last month. So those numbers are both up, and that puts us in pretty good shape. And as you can see, our other revenues are up as well, and that was largely in because of reimbursement for our hospital insurance. So, and of course, transfers in stayed the same, leaving us a fund balance of 53,188 for the general fund. That's pretty good for this month, and we like to see that. Our expenditures, of course, was down, and we're trying to keep those down. Of course, through COVID, we're doing our best to not spend as much money as we can. That doesn't always work out that way because we do have expenses, but we are doing a pretty good job. So as far as the utility authority, you can see there our revenues were down a little bit, about 2% over last year, about 4%, just shy of 4% over last month. We can expect that in the winter months, so that's not a big, too much of a big deal. It's going to go down as the temperatures get cold. We don't have as many people that have electric heat. They mostly have gas heat. So we're going to see that. The fund balance there, yes, we are below for the month at 6,448, but we're still ahead as our grand total for the year from July to December at 151 for the utility authority and 125,000 for the general government. And if you want to see that graphically, here we go. Sales tax, you can see the 12-month period and where we've been and where we're gone. So here we were last year at 42,000. This year we're at 45,000. That gives us that percentage of increase. And you'll see that big 50% increase here. Sorry, I should have removed November, but December is right here. So that's 6,000 to 9,000. That's a pretty big jump. So we're happy with that. And that is my financial brief. Any questions?
Okay, if there's no more, we'll go on to 5-day with the financial report for all funds for periods ending December 31st, 2020.
And that is in your fund packet, or that's in your packet. Those are, I don't brief those. That's actually what I just briefed.
Oh,
So.
okay. Next thing on the agenda is discussion of appointing 2 board members to the hospital authority to fill vacancies left by Mrs. Kane and Mr. Reeves. 2 recommendations have been received by the authority. They are Carson Vincent to fill Ms. Kane's seat, which ends September 2021. Laretha Vincent to fill Mr. Reeves' seat, which ends September 2022. Okay, any discussion?
So I would like to just say it's actually come to be vital that we actually put some folks on this this board. I highly recommend that we go with the recommendation. We asked Carson and Laretha to I'm sorry, can you not hear me or?
No, that was Elka. She had made a comment and I couldn't hear.
Okay. We have those 2 and we're going to have to get another one because we did receive a resignation letter from
Zach Zachary.
Zach Zachary. So.
Elka, Elka's wanting to talk.
Okay, have her kind of stand up and if.
Okay. Can she come over here by me so we can?
No,
see?
there's a webcam on the computer sitting right in front of her.
Oh, right there. Yeah, go right over there. Okay. All right, good deal. All right.
Right?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
And you can unmute your mic.
It's unmuted.
It's muted, Mary Jane.
She is. There's nothing even on here on her screen.
We just switched seats. I just wanted to take, first of all, to appreciate the moment to visit as one of the board members of the hospital authority. I put on this month's schedule to revisit the issue of us being short, specifically after a meeting had to be canceled short notice in December. Having a board at the time with 3 people just took too much of one falling out and not having a meeting. In regards to now needing 3, could we possibly come up with a solution that would come up with solutions for both of the issue we learned from in August, that you all, the commissioners, were seeking representation on that board? So could we do a couple that we had proposed plus one of y'all's portions as to what we were understand to believe your wishes were back in August? And I'm here rather than going back online to see what was discussed regarding the board. The other remaining board member is not feeling so good this evening, or else she also would have been present. We would like this board to function and invest a lot of time into it on the behalf of our community in these specifically dire times financially. Thank you.
Well, really can't comment on it. but
That's all right.
I
I'm
can't-
good.
But I need to
I'm
talk to
good.
you after the meeting's over. If you're gonna-
Thank you.
Dave, I'll be honest, I don't guess I understood what the request was.
So
have it-
the motion on the actual motion that needs to happen on the floor here is to have the two personnel. You have the option now to nominate a third person. That happened after the agenda was written. So we weren't able to get a nomination in time. And obviously they haven't met in order to provide a nomination. So we either provide two for them and wait for them to give us a nomination, or you as a board just make a recommendation, or you make a nomination and you appoint a third body. You can do that tonight.
We can do that tonight?
Yes, that is absolutely 100% under your authority to do so.
You'd have to do it under new business since it wasn't posted. So you want to do it on this item, you can discuss it this item, but then you can nominate somebody under new business because
Correct.
this was not reasonably foreseen at the time of the posting. Because this all came about basically after the posting of the agenda.
Okay. Well, we haven't, I don't know, does anybody have, well, we'll do that under new business. Okay. So right now, we're back at the point to, we had a discussion. Is there any more discussion on these two recommendations?
Well, let me just throw one thing in there. We've got the motion. There's a discussion here that we're discussing the two nominations that we have. Corey, and if I'm wrong, you can tell me. But the discussion that we have for this item is just a discussion. The actual nomination, or the
Appointment.
appointment in the next item
Mhm.
does not tell us that it's only two.
Right,
So
yeah.
we
Yeah.
can do three in this next section because we are filling 3 seats.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I read the agenda wrong. I didn't see 7 when I made my comment. So yeah,
Oh,
you can do
okay.
all 3 under 7. So number
Perfect.
6, we're just discussing the 2 nominations. And then number 7 is possible action with regard to appointing board members. And that could be, and basically how it's worded, I'm sorry. I was doing too many things at one time. Yeah, number 6 is discussion of 2 board members. We don't even have to necessarily, I mean, we can discuss whoever, but these are the recommendations that the hospital board had came up with. And number 7, we would be able to,
Yeah, and I can tell you this, and I'm not recommending you do this. I'm just saying, because of the way we wrote it into the agenda, if you didn't want to appoint those 2, you could nominate 2 completely different people. I wrote it that way to give you that choice and to give the board the opportunity to put who they need to put into that position. I and Corey both would recommend going with the recommendations of the hospital board. Those people have been notified. They know they want to take part in it. So,
But do we have a third name or a third recommendation, even though it's not posted?
Somebody that we know will take it.
well, that's where the question is, and what Ilka was saying in her statement is it possible that we can then put one of you on the board? Can we do that without changing the bylaw?
And
But
the
it's up
answer
to
is
them.
no to that.
Okay.
You can't, unless the trust indenture is amended, which is what we proposed back in July or August of last year, it has to be a non-commissioner at this time. The original trust indenture allowed for the commission to serve, then it was changed to independent board, then it was changed back, and there was, so as of right now, how it is written, it has to be 5 individuals separate from the board, from this board, the commissioners.
I know the mayor had a name that was discussed offline. Did you ever have a chance to talk to that individual?
I just
I
didn't rush
didn't either.
into it because I didn't know that we could do it. So I didn't discuss it with him.
Well, we're not in a rush to get 3. If we can get 2, then they can continue on with their business, and they can put together a recommendation, or you would have more time to get your 3rd person.
So if we don't appoint a 3rd, then the only way to get the 3rd is to find somebody that'll do it, that everybody kind of agrees with individually, and then we can have a special meeting and appoint somebody, or
That's correct.
another recommendation from the hospital board or something.
Mhm.
Okay.
And if you don't, right now we're 2. There's only 2 of us on this board.
I know, and then it's the 4.
Yeah.
With these 2,
We would need that 3rd name soon because we don't have a tie break.
we just don't know who. That's what we're talking, well, that's what we're anyway, okay. Any more discussion about these 2 people that,
I would just ask, is it completely off the table that we're looking at having a joint session with the hospital board to discuss the changing of that?
It's not off the table to discuss that. We can't discuss it today. I can tell you that. But it has been made clear to all parties that a joint session can't happen until the legislation changes the work that they're about to do legislation-wise to get us back into virtual meetings. Because once we go back into virtual meetings, we can all meet, and that would be, 8, 9 people in a room. And we're going to violate our own rules once we do that.
Right,
So-
but that didn't go back into effect until November. I mean, we had every opportunity in June, July, and August, and September and October.
Well, we didn't have the concept of doing that until the September meeting. So yes, we could have done it in October. October turned around and there was a lot of other stuff. And Corey and I were trying to make a time when we could do that. But we were also dealing with some financial matters at the hospital and some discussions that are of a confidential nature that we can't bring up. But we were dealing with a lot of stuff, and to make another meeting to change our trust indenture, it just didn't meet our timing requirements.
so at some point.
But I would just say I would recommend not doing a joint meeting until we can do it virtually. And the reason for that is because we would be violating our own rules of no more than 10 people in a room.
So do you think that when do you think that's going to happen? You don't know?
It should happen next week.
So next week. So within at least a week to a week and a half, we could.
I would safely say within a week, and I would say give us 2 weeks, because if it happens next week, then we have to spend some time finding a date that works for 9 people. So.
Okay. Any more discussion
Our
on
regular meeting is the 23rd also.
their regular meeting is the 23rd?
Yes, ma'am.
let's, any more discussion on these two appointees? We want to continue with this. Is there anybody that wants to have any discussion about these two to be on the hospital board? And then we could have the joint meeting and appoint, maybe have names to appoint at the last one in a couple of weeks. Is that what we're looking at, Dave?
Sorry, yes.
Okay. Okay, is there any more discussion on these two? All right, let's go on to number 7, possible action with regard to appointing these board members to the hospital authority. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to appoint the recommended board members.
Okay, Reese makes the motion to appoint these 2 board members. Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Bowman seconds the motion. We call for a vote.
Gay,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Webb,
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Number 8 on the agenda, discussion of the agreement between the city manager and the hospital CEO regarding the hospital roof. The negotiated agreement is for a 50-50 split of the cost associated with the roof replacement. The roof will be replaced in stages over the next year to maximize available funding. Stage 1 is to replace the section of the roof that is actively leaking, the city's cost of which is $15,000. Will commence upon approval of this agreement. Stage 2 will be completed in late summer, FY22, August and September of 2021. The city's cost will be $11,500, and stage 3 will be completed in the spring of FY22, February, March of 2022. The city's cost will be $15,000. Let's discuss that. Anybody have any questions about that? You know that it's still our hospital, and our insurance is not paying for it. It has to come out of our pocket. And they were very gracious, I think, to work out an agreement to do a 50-50 thing.
I would just say in the future, we need something in writing when we do all this and who's responsible for what.
Yeah, well, if the insurance would have paid for it, you know, if a tornado came up or something like that, then our insurance would pay for it. But this
And typically when you're dealing with these kinds of things, you're dealing with a lease agreement, and this isn't a lease agreement. The hospital, the management company doesn't have a lease agreement for the hospital. So it's the hospital board, and the hospital board is a designation of the city. So as you really look at it, it's a city entity within the city. And so the hospital is supposed to generate funds to pay for itself. And that's one of the purposes of the hospital. But we never put down in a trust indenture of what maintenance and facilities would look like for the hospital itself. So where we have our argument is that the hospital already assumes maintenance of the building because they hire maintenance personnel. But the other issue is that the hospital, the hospital authority doesn't own the building. The city owns the building. So there's something to be said for our ownership, our responsibility. So this really is the best way to do it, is a 50-50 split. And it helps us because we're not out the burden of $80,000, and it helps the hospital authority because they're not out the burden of $80,000. So
Dave, can I ask a question with regards to like bids and things like that?
mm-hmm.
Will it be set up like normal bids?
Bids are already done.
They were done.
Did we already approve those bids?
Yeah, we've already done that. We did that back in December. Yeah, we've been dealing with this roof since October, actually way before that even. But we started the bidding process back in October. We got 2 major bids. One of them was from Luckenbill, and they didn't even comply with the entire bidding process. The only one that really complied with the bid was Maccabee Fox. So they are the ones that we brought before you. I want to say it was either in November or December at 80,000. And that's where you gave me the authority to go and negotiate that with the hospital.
I remember that, Dave. I remember giving the authority to go negotiate, but I don't recall selecting a bid. And maybe I'm wrong, but I couldn't find that where that was something that was decided. And again, I may be wrong.
Well, I think the reason was because there was no selection of bid, because there was only one bid. The other bidder did not fulfill the requirements of the bid by when they did their bid. They didn't include everything that needed to be done. They only included one portion of it. And of course, their one portion of it was more expensive than Maccabees, and that's just the nature of the beast with Luckenbill. They are more expensive. They're good and they do their job, but they're going to be way more expensive. It was like $125,000 to replace that roof, but they were not going to deal with the connection of the draining.
And bid figures are still good.
Yes, and we've confirmed that. In fact, when we did this, we confirmed and told them that this would be better and if we could split this up, and they said absolutely. There's a clear delineation in which we can do this in 3 separate phases.
Okay, is there any more discussion on that? Then we're going to go on down to item number 9, which is possible action to approve the negotiated agreement between the
Mayor, you cut out, and it looks like we've lost.
Dave?
Yeah.
You said that happened in November, December?
Yes. Yeah, it was, I want to say it was in November because it took me that long just to get an agreement. And I missed doing it in January. So it would have been December that we talked about it because I didn't get it back to you in January. And yeah, so it would have been December. Are you back?
Hey, man.
Okay. Yeah. You disappeared for a minute there and you said we needed to move on to the next item.
Oh, okay.
We've had some Wi-Fi issues in that building, so.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, I need a second.
Who made the motion? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll second.
Reese seconded. Please call for a vote.
Gay,
Yes.
Webb,
You're muted.
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Going on down to item number
Mayor.
10. Yes.
If I could, Dave, I'm looking at the January record of minutes for December, and I don't see where and maybe I'm just mistaken, but I was just looking at that and I didn't see that.
Would have been December. Is that right, Dave? Have we lost Dave?
Dave, you're muted.
I'm muted.
It's
Sorry.
not in January.
I can read.
It would have been in December, so it
December.
would have been January's minutes.
And that's what I'm looking at.
The December minutes.
I think it was before.
You think it was before December, maybe November? Billy?
I do. I feel like it was earlier, but I'm not sure when.
Any more discussion? If not, we need to call for a vote. Or did we already?
Yeah, I don't know if we got everybody's vote.
Billy, did I call for a vote?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and we have, did
Me,
everybody vote?
I just know two.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think
I'm
Ron
thinking-
and Travis
You
did.
all voted.
Yeah, we did.
Huh?
You voted, didn't you?
I would just do a revote just in case so that we have it for the record.
Ronnie,
Gay.
did you vote? All right, Billy, let's do a revote, please.
Gay,
Yes,
Webb,
yes.
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Going on down to item number 10, discussion and possible action to approve the general election proclamation calling for the election to be held on the 16th day of March. Do I have, is there, first you need, I need to have a motion, please. Do I have a motion?
So
I'd make the motion.
Approve the general election. Yeah, we have a motion. Okay. Now any discussion? Anybody have any discussion on our election? It's going to be on March the 16th.
who was the second?
We haven't done a second yet.
Reese seconded.
Reese second. Okay, now discussion. Anybody have any discussion on that? If not, call for a vote, please.
Gay,
Yes,
Webb,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Number 12, possible action to reestablish the Golf Advisory Board and approve the Golf Advisory Board bylaws. Do I have a motion?
Should be on number 11.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Discussion on reestablishing the Golf Advisory Board and associated bylaws. Okay, thank you. Do I have a discussion first? Travis?
Yeah,
Have any
yeah,
comments?
just discussion first. Dave, did you get the names of the members when it was?
No, in fact, what I wanted to do here was first, as we discussed, put it out there to reestablish and then bring those names up next month, have that in place so that we can get all of the things done that we need to get done in the middle of March to get us ready to open up in the end of April. So we're going to need names once we get the advisory board back on track.
Okay, so right now, we're just establishing the board and the bylaws.
That's correct. Reestablishing, because we used to have one and there were no bylaws for it. I kind of set some up based on some other cities and how they do their bylaws for their golf advisory boards. So the bylaws themselves, they're obviously we can go back in there and we can change things if we want to. But it provides us with hey, here's a clear delineation of what your responsibilities are. Here is what we expect of you, and how we handle the administration of those board members. So
Okay. Any other discussion? Then we'll go on to number 12, possible action to reestablish the Golf Advisory Board, approve the Golf Advisory Board bylaws. Do I have a motion?
So move.
All right, Bowman made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Reese. Please call for a vote.
Gay,
Yes.
Webb,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Next section is staff and board remarks. This is the place where I wanted to make one comment. All of you probably remember Marcia Griswold. She sat on our commission and was very active in our community. She called me the other day and she wanted me to announce to all of you and all of those that are listening about how her sister spent a month in the hospital out here at Mangum with COVID, and was just praising the staff, the people that were there. She said they were just great. They had one issue one time with a nurse and that they fixed that immediately. She said we were able to call her every day and the nurses and the people at the desk were just wonderful. She was just so happy, and that her sister's home now, but she had to spend a whole month and she just praised the Mangum City Hospital. So she wanted to make sure that we told everybody that.
excellent.
Dave,
Madam Mayor, go ahead.
we have a gentleman here that I
Yeah,
think was.
that's exactly what I was about to do. Madam Mayor,
Anybody
the
else have any comments?
local director of EMS is here, and we're considering him a member of this staff as kind of a ad hoc member of our community. He's here to report on EMS and where they're at. I thought you guys would want to hear this.
Yeah,
So,
right now.
Ori, sir, if you could unmute that laptop that's in front of you there. Travis, you're going to need to unmute him.
So they can hear you.
Yes, well, kind of.
it's muted still.
Yeah, it's muted. There's a laptop there. Is it?
Well, but the screen's black.
Oh,
That's
We
what
can't get
happened.
it to
That's what
pull
happened
up.
over here.
okay. And that means that it's not second screening. So can you do it looking at the projector?
Yeah, just come over here.
There we go. Okay.
Can everybody hear me now?
Yes.
I just wanted to introduce myself. My name's Corey Thomas. I'm the new director for Greer County EMS. I was hired back in September. Just kind of wanted to give the city a status update of kind of how things are going over there right now. We've hired a few new EMTs. We've been able to take some transfer trips out of the hospital here in Mangum. We've helped out Hobart and Jackson County also in that regard. We've got back pay caught up for all the employees that were owed back payroll checks. We were able to get that done. We also got caught up on some billing that was left undone from the third-party contractor that was hired to do our billing for us last year. We was able to get kind of a surplus of money to come in. That's why I was able to catch up on some of those bills. I don't think we're quite to the point where I would call us solvent, but we're making progress that way. But mainly I just wanted to come introduce myself, let y'all know that things are improving over there in regards to the ambulance service. And that if y'all have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I do work another full-time job outside of the ambulance service. So I am kind of busy, but I'm surgically attached to my cell phone most of the time. So if y'all if y'all need to get a hold of me, I will make time to visit with you if you got any questions or concerns in regards with the ambulance service. I'm needing to hire a couple more people to really get the schedule filled the way I want to. Moving forward, my plan is to try with staffing to staff 2 EMTs on every shift, so that when we do get transfer requests to transport patients out of the hospital to Oklahoma City or wherever, I can call in EMRs, which are lower level licensed people, to cover town and to drive for that transfer, so that I don't have to staff like 4 people every day. Just a couple of things that I'm trying to get done as I move forward, trying to get things straightened up over there. But like I say, if anybody has any questions or concerns, feel free to holler at me. If you want to ask right now, I'll try to answer the best of my ability.
Thank you very much, Corey, for all the work you've done. I know it's, anyway, we appreciate it.
Okay. Well, like I say, if anybody needs my cell phone number, Dave has it now. I'll be glad to leave it with anybody that wants it. If y'all want to reach out to me later, please feel free to. And you're more welcome to attend our meetings. I think we have a board meeting scheduled for tomorrow evening at the EMS building. If anybody wants to come to that, feel free to come join us for that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
Yes, actually, I do. Let me pull it up here. I want to showcase where we have not been able to show this to you as a group yet. So here it is. I wanted to, where's it at? There's my share button. Can you all see that now?
Yes.
On my screen? Okay. So way back, several, it would have been in May, I believe, we discussed getting a new website. That website is up and running, and we're starting to get some really good analytics that show that it's getting a lot of use. In fact, we're kind of tracking day by day the number of folks that are coming down, and if you can see my little cursor there, going down here to online payments, we can now take online payments, and Travis, you can be the proud owner of being the first person to make an online payment. So good on you, kudos. You weren't our guinea pig. We actually had somebody do it first, but you were the first customer. So, but since then we've actually had, I'm going to put it around 30. Billy, you can probably say better.
Because I know there was some today, so.
Yeah. So I'm going to put it somewhere in the 30 or 40 range.
I can't take all the credit for that, because I actually paid before I got my bill, because Billy sent me a text and said, hey, if you're interested in doing that, you should be able to see your bill on there.
Right.
So I actually paid that day and then got my bill the next day.
Excellent. Well, there's definitely some really great things about this website. And one of them I wanted to just kind of showcase here and show you. Here is for those people who are watching this on YouTube or out there, and I'll just call it YouTube land. This is where you go if you want to learn how to pay your bill online. If you need help, call us at City Hall. We are more than happy to walk you through it. It's pretty easy to do, and we are highly encouraging everybody to take advantage of it. And the more folks that we can get to take advantage of it, we hope to bring it back to the board to remove that credit card processing fee for those that are doing it online. We want to encourage that, and it's a completely secured system. The system works off of our own accounting software, so it's not even like it's a third-party vendor that's coming in to do the billing. It's all based on Tyler Technologies, who runs Encode, who is our accounting software. They're the ones that we do all of our checks through. They're the ones that we do all of our accounting and any of the reports that you guys get. That all comes out of Encode. So it's not a third-party deal. It's something that is tied into our own system. So this is all really good news. We are working to update a lot of what's going on our website. I'll take you to our administration page. I know I've done mine. Billy's working on hers. Oh, there it is. Hey, that's me. As we go along, we're trying to get more of our departments updated. That's taking some time, but our ordinances have been codified. They were officially codified last month and went live on the 5th, if I can remember that right, of January.
Oh, it was, no, I think it was running on.
It was right after New Year's.
Right on the 1st.
Oh, was it? Okay. So right after New Year's, which was our goal, was to go live with the codification of our new ordinances, and all of that is in our online database here with Municode now, and this is a much more user friendly than the previous codification service that we were using. It was Sterling for a while, and then another company took over, and I'll just leave them out of it. But this is way more user friendly, and you can do some really good searches. And there's some statistics in here. So if anybody was interested in doing research for something, they can go in here and do that research as well. Going back, I wanted to point out that the library has actually merged in with us as well. They no longer maintain their own website. They actually saw what we were doing on our website, and they joined us. So we're saving them some money. They no longer have to pay for their website. I don't remember how much they were paying for it, but it saves them a little bit. So we're really happy to have them on board. And you, of course, can go in and do your online catalogs. And I actually got to learn how they do all of that. So our website is up and running, and it's doing great. And we're getting a lot of hits. Jobs, we've actually posted for 2 jobs in here. When you go to these, it gives you the opportunity to download the application right here, fill it out, and email it to us. Here's the qualifications, and it's all right here. No more, we've taken a lot of those essential functions of City Hall, and we've moved them onto an online platform for those who would prefer to just sit on their computer and figure it out. It follows in a very sensible pattern. So I just wanted to give you that update on the website. It's up and running. The online payments are up and running. People are using them, and we are very, very happy with the success of this rollout.
That's
And it
great.
was very simple. I do a lot of online payments and auto drafts and different things, and it was a very easy process to get set up to make that first payment.
And you
And
can
we'll
look back
continue
at
to do
your
that.
history. You can look back at your history. You can do a work order if you've got something you need done. You can do a work order, and it sends it to Jennifer, and then she answers it. There's all kinds of things that you can do.
While we're just on comments, I haven't been out to the golf course in a while, and I went today after school, and Krista and I both, and we walked a good portion of the course. Greg was out there when I got out there. He has hired someone so that he's not overloaded with both, which should benefit us greatly. It's pretty much the condition as he reported last time. 9, 5, and 8 are still struggling, but he reported to me that his plan is 2 to 3 weeks from now, as the weather gets a little more consistent, they're going to sand, reseed, and cover those with a mesh type tarp that helps germinate faster and grow faster. Those are really the only 3 that need to be redone. I walked all the way down to 1 and 2 as well. There's a lot of bent grass on there, and actually number 4 looked as good as it has in a long time, because the last few times I've been out there, which that was the one when we met with this company, we went out there and there were 8 different types of grasses and weeds on there, and it looked terrible. It is, I'm going to say 96% bent grass, a few broadleafs and different things, but those, I don't think they're going to be playable, March, but I do agree that when we get to May, when we get growing season and a little bit of, which the bent doesn't need heat like Bermuda, but once we get a little better growing season weather for the greens, they can be sanded, fertilized, and I'm confident they're gonna be back.
Good deal. Any other comments? Okay, if not, we're going to go on to new business. Is there any new business?
Yes, the city does have new business. We found out about an hour and a half prior to this meeting that a pump at a lift station went out. This is on our sewer system. This is also happens to be the pump on the lift station that we have a consent order on. So it's the same one. So they requested that we purchase a new pump, and based on the requirements of the consent agenda, I'm actually requesting from the board to approve the emergency purchase of 2 pumps. The action is on let me pull it up here, resolution, and that would be, where's it at? Sorry. It's resolution 2021-26, and that is to move $10,000 over into the MUA Capital Improvement Fund. The current amount, Billy, do you have that PO in front of you?
I do. $5,220 is what it's. 2,610 each for each
Yep.
pump.
And I'm requesting this is an emergency, so we have to get it done. There's really no time to do and go out through the bid requirements, and state law does say that in an emergency we can do this. So I'm requesting that we move 10,000 over, and I'm requesting more than that 5,000, just so that if there are any parts that we need to fitment them in, that we have the funds there to do that. The good news would be that getting both of these is actually going to help solve one of our consent order issues. So,
Okay. All right.
so I would need a motion on approving resolution 2021-26.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I'd make the motion.
Motion by Webb,
Second.
second by Gay. Please call for a vote.
Ron,
Which
Okay.
one?
Gay, yeah.
Yes.
Which one?
Webb,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
and Bowman.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you for that.
Any other new business?
No further business from the city.
Okay, so at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Gay,
Second,
who seconded?
Reese.
Reese seconded. Call for vote.
Gay,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Webb,
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Meeting is adjourned. We're going to go directly into our Mangum Utility Authority regular meeting. There's very little on that unless we have some major reporting. So at this time, I'm going to call to order. Would you please do a roll call?
Scott,
Billy, do you need a minute?
no, I'll just write it down.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot that it takes you a while to switch over. Ilka? I can talk. No, it doesn't have to be today. Fine. Okay. I'll talk to you.
Am I ready to finish?
Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead and
Gay,
do a roll.
Yes.
Reese,
Here?
Yeah.
Webb,
Here.
Bowman.
Here.
Scott's here too.
I called you first.
Did you? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Or maybe I answered. I don't know. Okay. We do. Yeah, we do have a quorum. The consent agenda, minutes for January 5th of 2021 to approve the January 31st, 2021 claims and to approve the February 2021 estimated payroll. Is there anything you'd like to take off the consent agenda? Okay. Go ahead and call for
I
it.
make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second from Reese. Okay, would you call for a vote?
Scott,
Yes.
Gay,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Webb,
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Are there any remarks or inquiries by the audience not pertaining to anything on the agenda? Okay, next thing is staff and board member remarks. Any remarks?
Yes, city has remarks, and those are just to give you an update. There were in the consent order that we received. We were given a deadline of 1 February to do 2 of those items. Both of those were done last week. We got them submitted, and we were approved for the use of those yesterday. So we got them in on time, and so we're not going to see any fines for those. This is a very good thing. And what those was the standard operating procedures for the lift station in a kind of a maintenance manual. And the other one is the emergency operations for our irrigation system and how we kind of interact with that. Glenn Sullivan Associates did a great job getting those back to us. We reviewed them rapidly and got them submitted, and we are now going to go ahead and create a training plan based on those so that our folks know exactly what those procedures are, that both on the emergency side and on the standard operating side. So just wanted to give you a heads up that that portion is complete, leaving us with only one more. And that includes that lift station that we talked about earlier, doing that resolution for. We still have to get an alarm for that. And I was on the phone today a couple of times talking about that and trying to figure out exactly where we are with that. But the good news is that we're actually ahead of schedule on that one as well. And if we can get this pump done and installed, that's going to be a huge portion of this, a major portion of that, and including the major cost involved in doing it. So We just have to get an alarm out there and figure out how that's done, as well as some kind of electronic notification. Those are the last things we have to work on, and we're working with Glenn Sullivan on those as well. And I'll give you an update as soon as those are done. So that is all I have.
Okay. Anybody else?
Are the levels getting pretty high out there?
Yes, they are. And that the last time I checked on the levels, it was actually over a week ago. I don't check on them daily. I know our Chris does, and he alerts me when it gets up above the freeboard limit. And we then have to turn around and depending on where it's at on the freeboard limit, then we have to notify DEQ whenever that happens. We are also working with the landowner on the irrigation site to the east. I've had a conversation with the leasee, the actual farmer that's farming that, and I have told him that if so much as a drop of irrigation water comes off of that, then we're going to have to seek legal action against him. We have no choice. That's part of the consent order, and he was not as aware as we thought he was of the problem. He knew it was happening, but he didn't know the extent at which this was a problem. So he is well aware of it now, and he is formulating a plan to kind of, I don't want to say contain it, but create paths in the waterway so that it gives more of a chance for that to soak in. So he's really going to work hard to work with us to fix that last problem there.
Yeah.
So
Good deal. Okay, anything else? If not, do we have any new business?
no new business.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Gay, do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Bowman. Please call for a vote.
Scott,
Yes.
Gay,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Webb,
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Okay, meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for coming.